Good morning, guys. It's early today. I woke up excited for this and I hope you guys are excited too. It's a beautiful day for some Reddit stories today. I've got 10 Reddit stories today and they're going to be super fun. A couple of them definitely more than others. So yeah, let me know what you think of them in the comment section and let's get into it. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give my mother access to my savings account even though she says that it's for family emergencies? I, 24 female, have been working since I was 18 and I've been diligently saving money. Over the years, I've built up a decent emergency fund and I've started putting money aside for a house. My parents have always known that I'm good with money, but recently my mum, 48 female, has been pressuring me to give her access to my savings account. She says that it's because the family has had a lot of unexpected expenses lately. Right, so she wants to just take your money, like car repairs and medical bills for my younger brother, 15 male. While I understand that money is tight, I've always helped when I could. I've paid for groceries and contributed to household bills, and I've even helped cover my brother's school supplies, but my mum insists that it's not enough. She wants direct access to my savings account just in case something big happens. Yeah, but it won't be just for that. Your mum will be like, oh yeah, this is also an emergency, and then just take all of your money. I told her that I wasn't comfortable with that since I've worked hard for this money and it's meant for my future. I also mentioned that I'd be happy to help if a real emergency does come up, but I'd prefer to manage it on my own terms. Yeah, don't let your mum decide what an emergency is. She got really upset saying that I don't trust her and that I'm being selfish. You're being selfish because you don't want to give your mum access to your bank account. Okay, my dad has stayed out of it, yeah, because he knows you're right, but my older sister, 26 female, thinks that I'm overreacting and that I should just let mum have access. She even said, what's the point of saving if you're not going to help your family? Wow, the audacity. Now I'm feeling torn because on one hand I want to help my family, but on the other hand I don't think it's fair for me to hand over control of my hard-earned money. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give my mother access to my savings account? No, don't ever do that. She's pressuring you to give her access to your bank account, OP, which means that she really wants money right now. And if it was going to be for family emergencies, and she's the one who's deciding what a family emergency is, she would start saying that everything was a family emergency, and then you wouldn't have any money. This is a terrible idea. Yeah, like this comment says, not the a-hole, don't do it. They'll drain that account. It's not normal to request access to somebody's bank account. Yeah, and the only reason that your mum wants access to your bank account is so that she can just take your money when she wants to. The top comment says, I'd highly recommend that you do not share your account information, not even your balance. Yeah, that's a good point. You're saving so that you can move out. You should only be paying the bills that you're required to pay for living in the house. You should also get a credit check to make sure that you don't have any other open accounts that you're not aware of. And what does she mean? Oh, you don't trust me. You're selfish. Why should you trust her? And that's another thing, OP. Don't tell your mum how much money you've got. Obviously, your mum knows that you're doing pretty good, and all she can see is dollar signs. Oh yeah, OP's doing well. OP's got a lot of savings. I can start using that money. No, don't ever give your mum access to your money, OP. This sounds a lot more like greed than it does about an actual family emergency. And also, it's not like you're some cold-hearted a-hole or something, OP. You even said yourself that you do help them out a lot. This comment says, not the a-hole. As the mum of a young adult woman, I can firmly tell you that your mother's demand is wrong. It is not usual nor normal. And your sister's throwing you under the rug because either she doesn't have money and wants yours as well, or she would rather see your mum steal your money rather than hers. Yeah, definitely. Ignore them both. If your mum keeps on pestering you, I'd suggest to go a little bit no contact for a while. And most importantly, lock up your credit and identity information so that you can prevent ID theft from your mum. She's signaling pretty strong intent to get your money somehow. Yeah, the mum isn't like, oh, you know, we're doing really hard. If you could help us out, could you please help us out? No, she's like, hey, give me access to your money. I want it. And also, like this one says, it's your money, not hers. Only you get to say who gets access. She's being the horrible one, guilt tripping you into feeling bad. Yeah, and the guilt tripping and the pestering, it really shows how much she wants it. Like, she wants your money so bad, OP. And yeah, like that comment said, it's your money. You do not need to feel bad here, OP. And also, by the way, your mum's only making you feel bad so that you do cave and you give her access to your bank accounts. Like, she's trying to make you feel bad so that she gets what she wants. Yeah, no, not the a-hole at all. Okay, moving on to post number 2. This one is also going to be on Am I the a-hole? But before we read that, look at Nez. Isn't she so cute? Am I the a-hole for teaching my son a lesson and throwing him out after he said that household chores are a woman's job? Throwaway account as my son knows my real one and I want some advice. I, 34 male, have got a 16-year-old son with my ex, 34 female. We had our son way too early in life. We lived on the same street growing up and we knew each other from school. We fooled around sometimes and the rest is history. I'm ashamed to say, but both of our parents have been exceptional exceptionally controlling in both of our lives up until the divorce, and both my ex and I were way too much of a pushover to do anything about it. When they learned that she was pregnant, they forced us to get married. They told me they want her as a stay-at-home mum and me to work. My ex and I, we hated each other for our stolen lives. We were never cruel to one another, and we've never displayed any hatred in our house for our son's sake, but we slept in different bedrooms and avoided each other as much as we could. We split up after I caught her cheating, which finally made us both able to break off the chains of control that both of our parents had over us, and then we got divorced 2 years ago. Now everything is very good between us, and I even do consider her a friend, now that she's no longer my wife. And credit where credit is due, she was, however, a remarkable homemaker and an amazing mother. When we divorced, I had to learn all of this on my own. It was the first time that I realized how much work goes into maintaining a house, and I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I had to look up YouTube tutorials on how to clean and cook. A few weeks ago, I was ironing me and my son's clothes, and I told him that I want to teach him how to do this, as I don't want him falling into the same mistake that I did and never learning this on my own. He said that he doesn't want to, and I just said that he'll have to learn to do it at some point. He then said, only failed men do stuff like this, and I won't be one of them. I stopped and I looked up a bit bewildered, and I asked him to clarify. He said that it's his belief that this is a woman's job to do, and that only simps do simple household chores. Oh, bro. I tried to keep my composure as much as I could, but I asked if he saw me as a simp, and he just shrugged. I told him that now he'll have to choose his next words very carefully, but I said that he'll learn household work whether he likes it or not. He again reiterated what he said, and I said, well, if you think that's a woman's job, it's time for you to live with a woman, and to pack his bag and to go to his mum's house, as I will not have any of that Andrew Tate bullshit in my house. My son does live with me during the week, as his school's only 5 minutes away, and his mum is nearly 2 hours. He refused to make his bag, so I made it for him. He started seeing the gravity of my seriousness and tried to backtrack on his words, but I wasn't having any of it. He must have called his mum in the time that I was packing, as she called me as well. She asked me what was going on, and I told her what happened. Surprisingly, she's on my side, and she asked me to drop him off at her place, and she'll help teaching him a lesson. It's been about 2 weeks now that he lives with his mum, and she's been reinforcing the household chores on him. He's called me multiple times to apologize and asking me to come back. His mum and I agreed that he's going to stick this up for a week or two after the holidays and make him commute to school and do lesser household chores, and then let him come back to reinforce the consequences of his belief. My friends that I spent Christmas with yesterday said that I was rather hard and that it was a move to uproot his life like this, and it was an a-hole thing to do. So now I'm questioning myself. Am I the a-hole here? Edit, this exploded far beyond what I imagined to happen. I want to say thank you to everybody for the kind words. For people saying otherwise, I do want to clarify a few things. Number one, I did not just ship off my son to my ex to teach him chores. My whole point was that because he thinks that chores should be a woman's job, he should live with a woman. Even though he's seen me do these chores numerous times, while I may have initially reacted impulsively, I wasn't going to brush this under the rug if my ex wasn't on board. I'm more than willing to teach my son all of this stuff myself. I was fortunate that my ex-wife is on board with this and is making him do the chores, and as far as she told me, she's a lot harsher and tougher on him than I would have been. I do agree, however, that I should have given him a chore schedule a lot sooner. That's on me. Number two, people commented on the commute from his mum to his school. We do not live in the US. We live in Germany, and when I say it's 2 hours, that's with public transport. Someone even said that the 2-hour commute will result in him getting bad grades and warrants a CPS call. That one made me chuckle. Number three, I went over to my ex today, and she, me, and my son have had a good talk about this with him today. We explained that having his belief and opinion is his own, but the moment it disrespects people, it becomes toxic. We've sat him down and we've told him that he's going to go to counseling twice a month instead of once every other month, as he will be talking about this specifically. We've never once interfered with this therapy, but we will step in now, but only for this and this alone. We won't be invading his privacy for any other matter. Number four, the punishment that my ex and I am letting him go for still stands. He's going to stay with her until mid-January. We love our son with every fiber of our being, but he needs to know that some things just can't be allowed. Whilst he did show regret to his initial response, and that is a step in the right direction, I said that this is a deeper issue that has to be addressed. He will be getting a fixed chore schedule, whether he likes it or not. No more coasting the easy life. No, you're not the a-hole at all. Yeah, like the top comment says, awesome job co-parenting and holding him accountable. Yeah, and like the comment below that one says too, not the a-hole. You two may not have been right for one another as spouses, but you're both amazing parents. Yeah, for sure. I definitely feel like you did the right thing here, OP. Like, yeah, if you're gonna spurt out that sort of toxic crap, there should definitely be consequences. Yeah, also like this one says, not the a-hole. You gave him a reality check that he needed, and it sounds like you and his mama on the same page to teach him a valuable lesson, and it's better that he learns it now than grows up with that sort of mindset. Yeah, and what were the friends talking about? Calling you a for this? No, you're not at all. Oh, sorry for being a good parent. Like, oh yeah, only a failed man does house chores. Bro. no. What a cringy, toxic thing to say. And to believe too. That sort of attitude is so weird because I feel like it's the opposite of being a man. Like what, you're a fully grown man and you don't know how to do any chores, but you think you're super tough and cool and manly or something because what, if you did chores you would be a failed man because your wife should do the chores or something? That is such a dumb attitude. And yeah, moving on to post number 3, and this one is also on Am I the A-hole? It's going to be a fun one and I hope you guys are excited. I kicked my family off the Amazon plan. So I've been paying for Prime for over 10 years now since I was 17. No one in my family has ever paid a single month and each of them order stuff every day. I haven't really cared until I started crunching numbers and seen the accumulation total. As I've seen that total, not a single one of them has ever thanked me or even wondered how they get packages so fast. It wasn't until last week that I ordered some condoms and contraceptive pills that one of them made a remark while I visited. Oh, so when were you gonna tell us that you got your girlfriend pregnant? The amount of shame and embarrassment soared within a second and it almost made my blood boil. I've got no idea how somebody can say that to my face and think that it was totally okay. Me being a nice and calm guy, I laughed it off and I said today. That's definitely stuck with me for so long and I finally decided to change my password and not tell them the new code. All of them are asking me for the new code and the person who said that statement to me, I simply said that you've invaded my privacy and nobody has ever asked to help with the payments, so get your own account. It's been a few hours and no response. I'm starting to feel bad about it, but I feel like it had to be done. So am I the a-hole? Absolutely not, OP, not even a little bit. You're under no obligation to keep paying for them, OP. And to be fair, what do they even expect? Surely they don't expect you to pay for this on your own forever? Yeah, like this comment says, yeah, not the a-hole. I've had Amazon Prime since I was 18, and when I only paid $50 a year for being a student, my parents and sister use it, but we'll take turns paying for it every year. Your family is a bunch of moochers. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. They're a bunch of moochers. Like, they should not get upset at you for this, OP. You've been paying for it for ages. I've been paying for Prime for over 10 years. They should be so grateful that you did pay for it for that long, and now they can get their own membership. If they get upset at you for this, OP, that would be so ridiculous. Like, oh, sorry that I paid for it for you for 10 years. Oh my God. Pretty sure you can pay for it yourself. Yeah, like this comment says, you're not the bad guy here. They took advantage of your kindness for years, and then they had the audacity to invade your privacy. Changing the password was long overdue. Let them figure out adulting on their own. Yeah, this should have happened a long time ago. And like that comment said, have the audacity to invade your privacy. No, you're not in the wrong at all. Now we're moving on to post number 4. This one's also on Am I the A-hole? And it's gonna be a fun one. Am I the a-hole for installing a lock on my fridge to stop my roommate from stress eating my food? So I, 30 female, live with my roommate Sarah, 29 female, who's got this habit of eating everything in the fridge, whether it's hers or not. Oh no. She always says that it's because she's stressed and swears that she'll replace it. But my groceries vanish faster than a dating app match after mentioning kids. The last straw was when she ate my emotional support tiramisu. For context, I'd spent hours making this tiramisu after a rough week of work. It was my therapy in a dessert. Sarah ate the whole thing without asking. No. Nah, that's not okay. And left a note on the empty dish that said, sorry, PMS sucks. I owe you. That was it. Oh my God. That's diabolical. Don't eat somebody's entire tiramisu. That's blasphemous. There are some things that you do not do, and that's one of them. I lost it. I ordered a lock for the fridge for my food, and I moved everything into it. Now Sarah's furious, saying that I've ruined the vibe of the apartment. Hey, that was you. Take some responsibility for your actions, Sarah. And that I'm passive aggressive for locking her out of the shared fridge. Passive aggressive. Oh my God. Sarah sucks. If you eat somebody's entire tiramisu that they took hours to make, you are so lucky if they're only passive aggressive with you. The audacity of Sarah. She even tried to rally our other roommates against me. Spoiler, they also hide their snacks from her. Am I the a-hole for locking up my food, or is Sarah just mad that she can't steal my serotonin anymore? Update, there's a temporary lock on the fridge while we figure out a solution. We've got no proof to go to the cops. We've got receipts from the last 6 months of grocery bills, and she claims that she could have been on those grocery runs. She also took the broken lock from my roommate. We've lived with Sarah for around 6 years now. She was one of the core girls in our group, and this sort of stuff's only started within the last 14 months, so we care about her as a person, but this behavior can't continue. She only recently started saying it's because we make more money than her, and that it's only fair that we share since we've been friends for so long. Sarah, you can make up whatever excuse that you want to, but it's never gonna justify justify this. There's no excuse to do stuff like this. Oh, you make more money. Doesn't matter. Oh, we've been friends for a long time. Doesn't matter. Oh, I'm stress eating your entire tiramisu. Has the world gone mad? That's not justified either. We've gone to the landlord for theft. He claims that we need to work it out and don't really have a leg to stand on. We also use a paying portal with him where we automatically split the rent 4 different ways. As for buying a fridge, we already bought 2 $400 coolers that still didn't work. Why should we pay an additional few hundred for a fridge and our electric bills would be insane? We can't break the lease because we'd lose our $4,800 security deposit and need to pay back $9.8K for 60 days of rent until they find new tenants, and then we can't live there during the 60 days. And also her parents are crazy strict and abusive, and I'd feel bad for going to her parents. I cannot believe the audacity of Sarah. You do not stress eat food that isn't yours. Like, oh, okay, you want to stress eat? How dare you first of all eat all of something that somebody made, but also something that somebody spent hours making. You absolute a-hole. Yeah, the top comment, no, Sarah. She can buy her own stress reduction food from now on. Send her a bill for the replacement ingredients for the tiramisu and anything else that she's eaten recently. Not the a-hole. Yeah, but then she'll say, oh no, well you make more money than me, so why should I pay you back? It's only fair. There is absolutely nothing fair about eating all of somebody else's food. Oh, this one pisses me off. Yeah, like this comment says, not the a-hole. If I made a tiramisu from scratch after a hard week and somebody ate all of it without even asking me and then left a note on the empty dish blaming PMS, their life would be in danger, lol. 100%. The absolute gall to even feel like they can do that. And also eating some of it would be bad. They ate all of it. OP didn't even get to try their own food that they spent hours making. That's disgusting behavior, and it doesn't matter what you blame it on, Sarah. There's no excuse. Yeah, I don't know, OP. I could not live with somebody like this. Yeah, like this comment says, Jesus, an apology would have been appropriate. She literally just wanted to keep stealing and eating your food. What a for blaming anything on you. Yeah, blaming stuff on OP and coming up with all of these BS excuses. Oh, sorry, I ate your entire tiramisu. Like what, you ate my entire, like what, 5,000 calorie tiramisu? Like if Sarah ate one portion of the tiramisu, then yeah, maybe things would be fine. Oh my God, that's so bad. Yeah, like this comment says, the thief should be kicked out of the house, not the a-hole. Like it's not just the despicable behavior of actually stealing somebody's food, and not just some of their food, but all of their food. Oh, sorry, PMS sucks. I owe you. So that's your excuse, is it? Oh, sorry, I just have to eat your entire tiramisu. That is unbelievable. And I completely forgot what I was about to say. Oh yeah, that's right. It's not only the fact that she did this, but even more so, it's the attitude that she has around it. Like you think it's okay? You're saying that OP ruined the vibe of the apartment? You are blaming them? You're saying that it's okay because they make more money? I can't believe that. And you didn't even leave them any. They didn't even get to try the food that they spent hours making. Whoopsie, sorry. Oh no, that one is bad. OP's got a comment that says, she says it's only fair because we make 40% more than her. You think it's only fair, do you, Sarah? Oh God. Oh no. Oh yeah, it's only fair that I eat your entire tiramisu so you don't even get to try it. I'm trying to imagine eating somebody's entire tiramisu, like probably a big tiramisu too. Like you're telling me that you finished the entire thing without even feeling bad? OP, do whatever you can so you don't have to live with Sarah anymore. If Sarah genuinely feels like it's okay to do stuff like this, or it's only fair because you make more money, she's lost her mind. Moving on to post number 5. This one is also on Am I the A-hole, and I'm really hoping that it's not as infuriating as the last one. Am I the A-hole for refusing to let my sister's boyfriend attend Christmas dinner after what he said to my husband? My sister's been dating this guy Jack for about 6 months. She's head over heels for him, but my husband and I aren't his biggest fans. He's been offhandedly rude a few times, but nothing major until recently. Last weekend we hosted a small family dinner. Jack was invited and things were going fine until Jack made a comment about my husband's work. My husband is an elementary school teacher and Jack apparently thought that it was funny to call him a babysitter who actually gets paid for it. My husband tried to laugh it off, but I could see that he was hurt. My husband works so hard and genuinely loves what he does. So I snapped back and I told Jack that at least my husband contributes contribute something meaningful to the world. Unlike people who just mooch off their girlfriends, Jack's unemployed and lives at my sister's place rent-free. Things got tense and then Jack stormed out. Yeah, wow, see you later, Jack. My sister later said that I embarrassed him and that I should apologize. Oh, get out of here. How about Jack apologize for being an a-hole? I embarrassed him. He embarrassed himself. Oh yeah, you can dish it out, but you can't take it, can ya? Now, Christmas is coming up and my sister asked if Jack could come to our family dinner, and I said no. I told her he wasn't welcome in my house until he apologized to my husband. Hell yeah, OP. She called me a hypocrite for demanding an apology after what I said about him. Oh, this one's annoying too. Our parents are staying neutral, but my mum did say that it might be better to just let it go for the holidays. So what, keep the peace? So am I the a-hole? No. Yeah, like this comment says, laughing my ass off. He's insulting your husband for being a teacher when the guy's unemployed and leeching off your sister. The audacity of this clown. Not the a-hole. F that guy. Editor add thank you for the awards. Yeah, oh, you embarrassed me. No, you embarrassed yourself. And shout out to you, OP, for standing up for your partner. You've done such a good job here, OP. OP said, just to clarify, my husband didn't say anything to provoke Jack, and this wasn't a one-off sort of thing. Jack has made snide comments about other people in the family before, like joking about my dad being too old-fashioned for using cash instead of digital payments. It's not just us. Also, I had been open to having a civil conversation with Jack, but he hasn't reached out at all since that night. My sister keeps on doubling down that I'm the one who should apologize. Absolutely not. Which feels unfair considering that he started it. Jack was completely out of line, disrespected your husband at your home, and then says that you embarrassed him. Oh my god. Yeah, like that comment said, the audacity of this guy. Yeah, like this comment says too, not the a-hole. Jack disrespected your husband in your own home, and you stood up for him. Your sister enabling him isn't your problem. Boundaries are important even during the holidays. Yeah, what the hell is caving and apologizing to this guy gonna do? Like OP should apologize to you because you were being a disrespectful a-hole to them in their own home? Yeah, like this comment says, Jack sounds like he really needed a reality check. You're not being a hypocrite. You were sticking up for your husband, especially since his feelings were hurt. If Jack wants to be part of the family, he can apologize. It's not about the holidays, it's about respect. Making fun of OP's husband's career and putting him down and making him feel like crap when you're unemployed living with OP's sister rent-free. Like, is he just insecure about that? And he's lashing out because of that? You know, like trying to bring other people down because he feels like crap? Either way, he's the one who needs to apologize. OP, you wouldn't have said what you said unless Jack said what he said. He's the one in the wrong. And what, he can't even be good enough of a person to be like, okay, I'm sorry, I really shouldn't have said that. That was out of line and that was my bad. Like, he can't even do that. This comment says, not the a-hole, do the non-apology apology. I feel sorry that you got offended when I called you out on your unacceptable and inexcusable behavior that evening. I'm sorry that you're so insecure about the fact that you're an unemployed parasitic leech who only drains people and doesn't contribute to society, that you feel like you need to belittle people who actually do something meaningful in order to make yourself feel better about your pathetic life. I'm sorry that you're not capable of being a person who can admit a mistake, yeah, and try to make amends without other people bending over backwards for you. I'm sorry that me being open and honest has caused you all of these problems. Yeah, especially the bit where it says, I'm sorry that you're not capable of being a person who can admit a mistake. Yeah, like, oh, you're gonna sulk until they apologize? Yeah, how mature. Yeah, you're not in the wrong here, OP. The posts have been so infuriating today. Moving on to post number 6. This one is once again on Am I the A-hole? Lots of really good Am I the A-hole posts today. And by good, I mean horrifying. But before we read that, look at how beautiful Jin is. He's so unbelievably cute. It almost makes me forget about the horrifying stuff that we've read. Am I the a-hole for not getting my ex's affair child a Christmas gift? My ex cheated on me and fathered a child with another woman. That child is now 4 female. He's got full custody of her and is going for child support, but the mum isn't paying. I have primary custody of our 3 children, 11 male, 9 female, and 9 male. He gets our kids every other weekend. I've only seen this child 5 times and I don't have a relationship of any kind with her. I never interacted with her, and while I know she's innocent of what my ex did, I do prefer to keep us distant. My kids don't think of her as a sister. I never tried to change that. For me, them being close to her is not something that I care about. If they are, then they are, and I'd have to deal with it. But if not, then I don't feel the need to encourage or promote it. And my ex also knows this. And he also knows that our kids don't care for his daughter. They don't have the best relationship with him either. He's not exactly absent, but he's been all over the place since the divorce, and he works a lot of long hours and lives almost 2 hours away, which is partly why he's not a 50-50 dad. My ex lost his job in January of this year. He notified the courts and his child support payment was reduced while he's not earning as much. The change in job and pay has meant that he struggled far more, and the kids have noticed the difference in quality of life when they're with him. He also warned them months ago that they'd get a small Christmas gift each from him because he can't afford more. This leads on to his daughter. His parents died some years before our kids were born. His sister doesn't talk to him. His brother stopped talking to him after the affair, and the child's mother's family is not involved in her life either. So it's just him for her, and he can't afford to get her much. He mentioned this in our co-parenting app, and when we went to meet with our twins teacher, he asked if I would get her something or something so that she can have some presents to open on Christmas. I told him no. He didn't ask me again until yesterday. He had the kids at the weekend and then dropped them off at my house after. He saw the gifts under the tree and he was angry at me. He asked if I got his daughter anything, and I said no. He asked me what our kids got, and I wouldn't tell him. I reminded him that it was none of his business what I buy. Then he took out this dollar store doll, and he told me that that was all he could afford to get his daughter, and that she's only 4 years old. He told me that he knows he up, but she didn't. And he told me that I could have helped, even just a little bit, or I could have helped the kids get close to her, and then maybe they would have wanted to give her something. He said instead that I was just a cruel and selfish to an innocent child. And he said that she only knows being abandoned by her mum and her mum's family. She's unwanted by her own siblings, and that her siblings' mum can't even be compassionate enough to get her one more thing so she doesn't just get one tiny doll for Christmas. He also put it on me that he got our kids nothing because he knew that I'd get them something, and spent that money on his daughter instead, that it would make them pull away from him more. He left angry, and I went back inside and I carried on as normal. I know I'm not a saint for this, and I don't pretend to be, but am I the gay for not getting the child something for Christmas when I know that my ex can't afford anything else? Yeah, like the top comment says, the only selfish here is your ex. The audacity to get mad at you is just beyond, not the a-hole. Tell him next time he wants to curse at you for not doing his job for him, to do so on the parenting app so that you'll have it documented. The biggest plus of being divorced is that you don't have to subject yourself to his cruelty and selfishness. Yeah, the audacity here is out of control. Also, like the comment below that one says, the cheater could have found even a temporary job if he needed money for gifts. To pin his kids like a gift onto you is so childish and petty, not the a-hole. Yeah, like this comment says too, not the a-hole. He f***ed around and found out, literally. Tell him that his actions of not being able to keep his pants caused this and nothing else did. She's his responsibility, not yours. You're not being cruel to her. She doesn't even know you. Yeah, it's a mess around and find out situation. And the guilt tripping here is so wild. Like, yeah, mess around and find out. Okay, moving on to post number 7. I hope you guys are enjoying the episode so far. Am I the gay for pulling over and kicking my mum out of the car after she slapped me while I was driving? So earlier today, I 21 male was driving my mum 39 female and my little brother 5 male to run some errands. My mum has this habit of not giving clear directions when I'm driving her. She doesn't say turn left or go straight. Instead, she'll point or say that way. And it always stresses me out because I'm trying to focus on the road. Today she was doing the same thing and I ended up taking a wrong turn. She got mad and then started yelling at me, saying that I wasn't paying attention. I told her I can't read your mind, just tell me where to go. She didn't like that and kept on going. Then out of nowhere, she slapped me on the back of the head while I was driving. I got really heated after that because I almost swerved and it felt completely out of line. I pulled over immediately and I told her to get out of the car. I'll admit I was angry and I probably raised my voice, but I was mostly focused on the fact that she slapped me while I was driving and put all of us in danger. She started yelling even more and said that I had no right to kick her out, and then she took my little brother out of the back seat with her, which made me feel even worse because I didn't want him to get caught up in all of this. And after about 5 minutes of her walking, I calmed down and I drove back to pick them up. Then the rest of the ride was dead silent and now I feel like the bad guy. She hasn't said much since we got home, but I can tell she's upset. She thinks that I overreacted and I'm starting to question if I did, but at the same time I feel like slapping me while I was driving crossed a major line. So Reddit, am I the a-hole? No, 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 no. And she slapped you for what? You saying I can't read your mind, just tell me where to go. And that's why she slapped you, OP? Oh, God, no. Like, obviously, first of all, she shouldn't slap you, but second of all, definitely not while you're driving. The top comment says, not the a-hole, not the a-hole, not the a-hole. No one should ever disturb the driver unless there's an emergency. And making a wrong turn is not an emergency unless you're heading off a cliff. The comment below that says, an ex of mine was driving a few years back and his grandmother suddenly grabbed him and yelled at him to look at some goats on the side of the road. He swerved into a ditch. His car was a wreck. He suffered minor injuries, but his grandmother broke a hip, then had to be airlifted and spent months in the hospital as a result. What she did was dangerous, not the a-hole. Yeah, how stupid. This comment says, not the a-hole. Why can't your mother drive herself? Why can't she give you the street address before you head out and then you plug it into the GPS or phone to get proper directions? Do you live with your mother? Is this sort of behavior common for her? She sounds revolting. OP, don't ever get in a car with her ever again. Oh, that one is sad, but also infuriating. This comment says, you the a-hole, but only for going back and picking her up again, not the a-hole for kicking her out. She's endangering all three of you with her crazy. Yeah, that's so not okay. Did she apologize? By the sounds of it, she's upset at OP. No, you're not the a-hole at all. Your mum's so lucky that you went and picked her back up because you really didn't even need to do that. How awful of your mum. Okay, and after that one, we're moving on to post number 8. I'm sure it's going to be a wild ride like every other one that we've read today. This has been an adventure of an episode. Am I the a-hole for refusing to babysit my sister's kids after she called me just the fun aunt? My 28 female sister, 34 female, and I have always been close, or so I thought. She has 3 kids, 9 female, 6 male, and 3 male, and a husband, 36 male, who works a lot. So naturally, I've stepped in to help when I can. I adore my niece and nephews, and I've always tried to be there for them, whether it's hosting sleepovers or taking them on fun outings, or just helping my sister get a break. But lately, I felt like I've been taken for granted. I work a demanding job, and although I don't have kids myself, my free time's limited. Despite this, I've rearranged my schedule countless times to babysit, sometimes at the last minute because my sister swears that she has nobody else. I never ask for any money or anything in return because, well, family. Last week, my sister called me in a panic because she had an unexpected work event. She needed somebody to watch the kids, and once again, I stepped up. I left work early, I cancelled dinner plans with my boyfriend, and I drove 45 minutes to her house. When she got home later that night, I overheard her on the phone with her husband. She didn't realize I was still there, cleaning up the tornado of toys that her kids had left behind. She said something along the lines of, "Oh, don't worry about it. My sister will always help. She's just the fun aunt with no real responsibilities. It's not like she has anything better to do." Oh no. I froze. I waited for her to hang up, and then I asked her if she really believed that. She laughed awkwardly and said that I was overreacting. Overreacting how? Insisting that she didn't mean it like that. She said that she was just stressed out, and of course she appreciated me, but it didn't feel genuine. I left shortly after, and I didn't bring it up again until she texted me a few days later asking if I could babysit the kids this weekend. I responded, "Sorry, I can't. You'll have to find somebody else." She called me immediately upset and asked me why I was being so selfish. Oh, the audacity. I told her that I didn't appreciate being taken for granted or being seen as somebody with no real responsibilities. She got defensive saying that I was twisting her words. That's what they said. You're not twisting words, and punishing her kids over something that she didn't mean. Her kids aren't your responsibility. Now my parents are involved and they think I'm overreacting and should forgive and forget because family helps family. I love my niece and nephews, but I can't keep dropping everything to help somebody who doesn't value my time. My sister is now furious with me. Oh, who cares? Claiming that I'm abandoning her kids out of spite. Am I the a-hole for standing my ground? Of course not. I'm so sorry, OP. Your sister sucks. Your sister's kids aren't your responsibility. None of this is your responsibility. You are not their babysitter. She called me immediately upset and asked me why I was being so selfish. So you're selfish because she said no to babysitting her kids? Oh yeah, no you're not. There's nothing selfish about that. And the parents can take a hike. I love how we always read about selfish people that are calling other people selfish. Like OP's not selfish, the sister is. This comment says, hell no, not the a-hole. It's selfish to expect somebody else to drop everything, including impacting on your job and relationship, so she can do what she pleases. So to have the absolute cheek to then make fun of you, I'd be furious. She chose to have the kids. She's responsible for them. If she wants to be away from her kids, she can pay a babysitter and hopefully treat them with more respect than she has you. Like what? You're an a-hole because you don't want to be her babysitter? And that somehow makes you selfish, does it? Because like that comment said, you're not going to drop everything every single time for your sister? That's so aggravating. Okay, moving on to post number 9, and then I've got one more story for the day. These have been so wild. My daughter thinks I'm in the wrong for divorcing her father. Am I the a-hole for telling her that she's free to go and live with him? My ex and I have been divorced for 2 years. We've got 2 children, ages 4 and 15. Our daughter is the oldest and she loves her father to pieces. She took the divorce the hardest and does blame me for not working things out. We've all gone through family and individual therapy. It's been hit or miss. My daughter thinks that parents should work through issues for the sake of the family. I've got personal trauma with cheating. My father cheated on my mother countless times and she never left him because she didn't want to be a single mum. Yet she more or less was because my dad was always off with another person. I swore to myself that I would not go down that path. My mum also wanted me to work things out with my ex for the sake of the kids. Holidays are rough for her, especially Christmas. Her father's not exactly reliable because things would be so much easier if we lived together. You are so not the a-hole. I was at my wit's end yesterday because her father promised to take her ice skating, but then never showed up for whatever reason, and then it became my fault as per my daughter, because if dad lived here, he wouldn't be so stressed and would have more time for all of us. At this point, I told her she's free to live with her father if she wishes to. I would not stop her, and she's old enough to choose. Yeah, and fair enough for saying that, OP. So am I the a-hole? No. You are not the a-hole at all. The top comment says, speaking as a child of divorce, you're in a crap situation. Your ex would still be unreliable, is the impression that I get, even if you were all together. Your daughter does not understand that. Not the a-hole. Also, OP's got this comment. Sorry, I reread my post and I didn't explicitly say that he cheated on me. Soon after we had our son, he had a long-standing fling or affair with somebody else. Yeah, she's aware of the divorce. Yeah, we had multiple conversations. None with all of us together because her father refuses to sit down and talk about it since he feels divorce was a major overreaction. Wow. Yeah, my mother is aware of how I feel with regards to my father and our living situation while growing up and beyond until the day he died. My mother loved him to pieces. He did not deserve that kind of love from her. Yeah, I worked through my issues. I had a longer explanation, but I felt that it was not really needed. I worked out my issues with my dad when I was older. Yeah, you're definitely not the a-hole, OP. And the audacity of your daughter too. Blaming you when your husband cheated? Go blame the cheater. What are you doing? Oh, that's actually heartbreaking. Like, imagine your partner cheats on you and your child is upset at you. This comment says, it's tough to be blamed for somebody else's shortcomings. Your daughter is projecting her disappointment onto you. Offering her the choice might help her see things clearly. Yeah, no, you're doing the right thing, OP. Don't put up with her blaming you for this for a second. You are not the reason that you guys aren't together. Your cheaty, scummy husband is the reason. And what did he say? He thought that divorce was an overreaction? How dare you, dude? Has an affair on OP, and then when OP divorces him, he thinks that's an overreaction. And then your daughter has the gall to blame you for it. Oh, that's heartbreaking and aggravating to even read. I can't even imagine how you feel, OP. This comment says, ask yourself this. Would she have said the same thing to her father? I asked that because I've dealt with the same from my oldest daughter, 18. I realized that I was the safe parent. Yeah, she's hurting, but that hurt does not excuse how she's talking to you. Maybe staying with her father will actually show her that it isn't better with him. Not the a-hole. Yes, such a good comment. Not the a-hole at all. Okay, moving on to post number 10. And then after that, we better read something wholesome. It's been an adventure of an episode. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my brother-in-law move into our guest house after he screwed us over financially? My husband and I have a small guest house on our property that we rent out for extra income. A couple of years ago, my brother-in-law, his brother, approached us asking to borrow 10 grand to cover some debts. He was desperate and we wanted to help, so we lent him the money with the agreement that he'd pay us back within a year. Fast forward 2 years and he hasn't paid us a cent. He avoids the topic every time it's brought up and even had the audacity to take a trip to Cancun recently. My husband and I had an argument about it because I'm angry that he's not holding his brother accountable. Now the tenant in the guest house recently moved out and my brother-in-law suddenly wants to move in. He claims he's struggling financially and needs a place to stay for a few months. I flat out refused. I don't trust him to pay rent, and honestly, I'm still furious about the 10 grand that he hasn't repaid. My husband thinks I'm being too harsh. Oh, husband, you are so wrong. Saying that it's family and we should help him out. No, you shouldn't. But I feel like he's taken advantage of us enough already. Yeah, for sure. I told my husband that if he wants his brother to move in, he can either pay us back the 10 grand first or sign an agreement with consequences for not paying rent. My husband says I'm being unreasonable and cold-hearted. Oh, your husband is blind. Show your husband this, OP. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let him move in without any clear terms? OP, show your husband this immediately. Talk about enabling. Yeah, like this comment says, not the a-hole, your husband's an enabler. I wouldn't let his brother move in no matter what. It shouldn't even be a consideration until he pays back everything that he owes. Yeah, for sure, and he would never pay rent. He even said himself that he's having a hard time financially. He would never pay rent. He's thinking that he's got a free place to live. And what did OP say? That he took a trip to Cancun? Hey, pay back the 10 grand that you owe before you go on holidays, dude. Yeah, like the top comment says, kiss the 10 grand goodbye. And if you let that mooch move in, it won't be for a few months. You'll have a lifelong non-paying tenant. Not the a-hole. Yeah, your husband is blind and an enabler and completely delusional if he thinks his brother's not just going to keep on taking advantage of you. Like, you have for sure got a husband issue here, OP. I really do think your husband needs to read this post. Like, you are not being cold-hearted. You're definitely not being unreasonable. reasonable. In fact, you're being very reasonable. But yeah, it's not just the brother-in-law that's an issue. It's your husband too, OP. Okay, that's enough for today, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful time. We need to read something wholesome. Oh, cute. This one's another one by Jim Benton. The time that I waste with you is never a waste of time. That is so cute. That's so true, and it's so beautiful. Like, I love spending time with you, even if we don't do anything. That's so cute. Wholesome, you might even say. Thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate the support. I know these episodes can definitely be infuriating, so I really do appreciate that you guys watch the episodes. So yeah, thank you for that. And yeah, let me know down below what you thought, and definitely subscribe if you want to. And the very amazing comment of the day goes to Laura Muffin. Vincey, I adopted a dog yesterday, and we went for a full walk during your video. It was so nice. Wow, that's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that in the comment section. And also say hello to your new dog for me. That is so adorable. I love when you guys share your news in the comment section with me. Like, this made me so happy to read. Thank you for sharing. I adopted a dog yesterday, and we went for a full walk during your video. It was so nice. Like, not only is that so awesome, but you were watching a Vincey video while you went for a walk with your dog. That's so awesome. Thank you for the support. Okay, I'm out of here. Make sure you look after yourself, everybody, and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!